Does anyone else find it weird that Santa can't navigate through fog? Like, he could see you when you're sleeping, go around the world in one night, but fog cancels Christmas. I think that's just a lie. I think Rudolph was a Make-A-Wish kid. Like, Santa and the elves got together, like, listen, the tumor on this kid's nose is getting worse and worse. I think we should just let him lead the sleigh. It'll be nice for him. I'm glad to be here. This is one of my favorite things. My other favorite thing to do is I like to trick pickpockets into giving me a hand job. I just cut holes in the bottom of my pockets. I think they're getting silver dollars, but no, but that's something you got to get used to. My generation's really kinky. Like, I remember this guy just told me in conversation, I'm a gentleman in the streets but a monster in the sheets, which was true because he was in the Klan. But that's And then there's this one girl who she's in my residence hall. She always calls her boyfriend daddy, and she even like talks in this little baby voice. I'm like, it's creepy. You call him daddy, you talk in this little girl voice. Where does it end? When he gets blown, does he take out his penis like, here comes the airplane? I was trying to think of the kinkiest thing I ever did recently, and it's one time I had a three-way with my right and left hand, which three-ways are always awkward because someone always gets left out. In this situation, it was me. Just imagine me crying and clapping at the same time. Real tearjerker. I like watching TV. There's this one commercial I always love when it comes on TV. It's like an African village they want you to donate money to, and they got the woman with buckets on their heads, and the narrator's always like, it's the nearest source of fresh water is 3 miles away. Every day the woman has to walk 3 miles just to get fresh water. And I'm always like, why? Why can't you move the village? Like, why does the village have to be there? Is it a well-made infrastructure? Is it the plentiful resources? No, you live in a mud hut in the jungle, move the mud hut 3 miles down the road to where the water is. I don't get what's so complicated. The only thing I could think of is the guys put the village there just an excuse to get the woman out for like 3 hours at a time. Like, the woman put the buckets on her head, they leave, the guys look out the window, it's like, okay, they're gone, and they turn on like African NFL. They hang out in their man cave, which is just a cave. You guys remember when they used to put missing kids on milk cartons? You guys remember that? That always confused me, because like, what happens if a kid died? Do you still try to sell that milk? Because like, it's a waste of money to just throw it all out, but no one wants to buy it. Maybe you could do like a reduced price, like the low-income families go in the store. It's like, okay, make sure you get the bag cereal, the store brand soda, and the dead kid milk. But even then, it's going to ruin your whole experience. You're just going to be looking at the carton like, 2%, that's how much the police were able to get at a body. Some of you guys might have noticed by now I talk a little different and your suspicions are correct. I am an illegal immigrant. Now, I got a speech impediment, which if you don't know what a speech impediment is, that means that my voice sounds the way that your voice sounds when you record it and play it back to yourself. I actually went to speech therapy for a while, but I think you tell it didn't work by the way I'm pronouncing speech therapy. And people don't realize how important pronunciation is. Pronunciation is the difference between getting an artisanally crafted pizza and getting an artist anally crafted pizza. I think the worst part about having a speech impediment, though, is the representation, because like, whatever disability or condition you have, there are people you could look up to. Like, if you're in a wheelchair, you could look up to FDR or something. But when you're a kid with a speech impediment, they tell you to look up to like Joe Biden, Emily Blunt, James Earl Jones, who don't have speech impediments anymore. They had them when they were kids, but they conquered them. That'd be like if you told a midget to look up to Shaq because he was also their height when he was younger. That'd be like if the only person black kids had to look up to was Michael Jackson. It's just not. I don't know. I've been trying to get into dating. I joined Tinder for a little bit. Tinder's weird. There are girls on Tinder who are just like, I want to make friends. That's like if I went to a glory hole looking for a buddy. That's the greatest profile actually I ever saw on Tinder was this girl who's like, I want more than just a hookup. And I was so excited when I saw that because I'm like, more than just a hookup? That's 2 hookups. Now, I had a really bad dating news recently where the first girl I ever saw naked came out as a transgender man. So now because I'm woke, I can't count it anymore. Like, everyone else is getting more and more experience with girls they owe. I'm the only one who's getting less. Like, I've seen less girls naked as a 21-year-old than I did as a 20-year-old. And people always talked about, like, getting trapped, but that's stupid. If you're hard enough to make me think you were born a girl, I'll bang you no matter what. But now I'm worried about some person who was born a girl and mid-hookup, she just tells me, oh, by the way, I'm a guy. And I'm just going to be like so shocked, like I can't believe it. This entire time, I was getting pegged by a guy. I don't know. I'm in a bad financial state. I'm at the point I might have to sell my car to pay for gas money. And like no girl wants that. No girl wants to come over and like pirate a movie and chill. And like no girl wants to come to my apartment anyway because like my apartment's located above a funeral home. And like there's no separation. Like there's a cremation oven literally right down the stairs from my bedroom. And no girl wants that. Maybe like a suicidal Jewish girl or something, but that's about it. I don't know. I'm tall, which should make people think I'm like confident and cool, but I'm just failing at a high altitude. Like I'm 6'3", but I still manage to shrink into the background of every room. I'm such a wallflower, I once got invited to a party I was currently attending. Like my friend texted me, he's like, Brennan, this party's going great, you should come over. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I've been here for an hour, you greeted me as I walked in. I just don't have any confidence, and the reason I think I don't have any confidence is I was an altar boy and a Boy Scout and no one ever touched me. Which like, you know what that does to your self-esteem, all these other scandals happening? Like, there was a big scandal in my diocese where they unsealed a bunch of documents and found hundreds of kids were getting touched. And it was probably more than that because when they unsealed the files, a bunch of the pages were stuck together. But I don't know. But recently they started holding more cops accountable because like they're filming everything. So I think you could apply that to other stuff, start putting body cams on altar boys. That way, just like Derek Chauvin when they're on trial, you could point out to the footage, like, as you could see very clearly, the priest is obstructing this young boy's windpipe. I don't know. But no, I went to Catholic school. I got bullied a lot. And one thing people always told me when I got bullied was that these kids are just lording it over you because this is the best their life gets for them. One day you're going to be successful, you're going to do whatever you want, and all the kids that are bullying you are going to be stuck in that same town working a dead-end job. And you know what? They were right. I'm getting a physics degree, and all the kids that bullied me are stuck in that same town working a dead-end job. But what they didn't tell me was that dead-end job would be for the police department. So they just upgraded my bullies. Like, it used to be the only ammunition was my speech impediment and lack of social skills, and I got actual bullets. They're just driving around, waiting in speed traps, trying to take my lunch money. And these people have been lying about me my entire life, so I'm worried I'm going to end up in court and the judge is going to be like, the officer's report said you violently resisted arrest. You also said the reason of a girlfriend is because you're gay. I don't know. I remember the first bullet ever called me gay was I was in second grade and this kid just came up to me and he said, you're gay. And I didn't even know what that meant, so I just pointed back. I said, no, you're gay. And we kept going back and forth, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay, for about 6 years until we graduated. But then recently I found out, this kid came out, this kid is gay, so I win. Like, I don't know if you ever won an argument you've been having since you were 8, but it's the best feeling in the world. I Uno reverse carded this kid into accepting himself. And I always tease him about it when we're in bed. No, but people always say I'm gay, which I get because I'm so fashionable and well put together. But I'm not. I do celebrate Pride Month, though, because Pride Month is just whatever you have to be proud about. You don't have to be gay. So every year I'm out on that Pride float with those guys in G-strings and mesh t-shirts throwing dildos into the crowd. But anytime anyone tries to flirt with me, I gotta be like, guys, sorry, I'm not gay. I'm just here because I made the dean's list. I am glad to be out here, though, just because COVID ruined everything. COVID canceled my favorite holiday, which is daylight savings, because it's always been my dream to hook up with a girl on daylight savings right as the clock turns, so I could brag to my friends that I lasted an hour and 20 seconds. Now they're talking about getting boosters, and I want to get a booster, but I had such a bad reaction to my second shot, I don't think I'll be able to do it, it's tough because I want the immunity. But then recently I saw a study that gave me hope. I saw a study that said women who got vaccinated have COVID antibodies in their breast milk. So ladies, if anyone wants to save a life tonight, you can meet me after the show. Okay, I'm Brennan Smith, so good night.